This video is to explain to you how the competency boards are going to work, competency board review. So if you go to the website, all this will be on the home page, but I wanted to show you first on the calendar here in December, we have 2 days for the competency board review. And what's going to happen is everybody will be spread out in the gym during PBL and study hall that day. And you can work on whatever you want during that time. You can work on your PBL in the gym if you can. Or you can work on your study hall items. But everybody has a 10-minute block scheduled in a room with 2 teachers. Most of the time, one of those teachers is your advisor and then another teacher. A few times that didn't work out because there were just too many kids with certain advisors. But most of the time that is the case. And so what is happening at 1:30, the first person will go in with the person that is at 1:40 waiting at the door behind them. So we don't want to have any gaps. So I want you to show up for your presentation about 10 minutes ahead of time. Okay. And you'll stand out in the hallway and wait for the person in front of you to get done. So then when you get there, you will have to take with you. So have this prepared is what this means. Your competency rubric. This is the one that is specifically for you, that if you've been following along with the videos and what I've been asking you to do, you should have this done already. But if you don't, you need to get this done pretty quick. So you take that rubric, which is available on the website. Let me show you here under rubrics, under students, under rubrics. And sorry, my Wi-Fi is a little slow. And you'll scroll down here and you'll find your competency mastery rubric, and you can download that, save it as a copy, put in your own information. So I stole one from a kid in my class. I changed it a little bit, so it's not exactly theirs, but this kind of gives you the idea. So what you should do is under the criteria, at first the thing just says competency. You need to take your competency. So it needs to say whatever area it's in. So like math, which number it is, and then the actual competency needs to be copied and put here under the criteria. So for example, this person's first one is Math 1, apply and interpret units while modeling problems, formulas, graphs, and data to ensure sensible outcomes. Okay, so that's her competency. Then under the Grand Slam area, or excellent mastery of competency, I want you to write how you would meet that competency. And I highly recommend that you run this past your advisor and they agree with you on this, that this is how you will meet that. Because if you don't, you may get in there and they may go, oh my goodness, what you said here does not meet this competency at all. And then you're going to get a score way down here. And these are 75 points. You want to score up here in this area. So don't do that. Don't wait till the last minute. Put these in here and make sure your advisor agrees with you that this is how you meet this competency. If they don't know, if they're not sure, talk to the person whose area it is. So if you see visual arts or media arts, you can come talk to me. If you see math, go talk to Ms. Hobbs. If you see science, go talk to Mr. Novinsky. Okay, whoever you need to talk to if your advisor is not sure. Okay, so then it needs to be written in here how you're going to meet it. It needs to be written in complete sentences, and it needs to make logical sense. So she has written here, I will figure out the formula for making clay using percentages of each item needed to make X pounds of clay. I should be able to use a formula to determine how much I need of each material to make 25 pounds of clay, for example. Okay, I think that is an excellent description of how she's meeting that competency. All right. So with that, then when she comes in that day for her competency review in front of her 2 advisors, she should have the proof that she did that. Well, to me, the obvious proof is she has that formula on a piece of paper. She shows, well, when I made clay this time, this is how much I needed, 25 pounds. So this is what I did. The next time I needed 10 pounds. So this is what I plugged into that. And this is how it works. And then this worked or didn't work. It should be that simple. It should have taken her 30 seconds or less to have that proof, an actual item. You cannot, let me emphasize, you cannot walk in and say, I did that. That is a 0. Okay? You have to have proof. You have to show them how you did that and how you met that competency. So in math, that was how she would prove that one. Okay, make sure you have proof. And then I would like you to be able to leave that proof behind. So if that is a piece of paper, and you have a lot of pieces of paper, put them in a folder. If you have some different like photos and they can't be printed off, or you have a video that can't be left behind, put it all in a like on a flash drive, or put it on a folder that you share with them, or put it in something that you leave behind with your board that it's looking at your thing. So here's another example. So I'm just going to go through all these. Hopefully this will help you. Visual Arts 9 is respond to the visual arts by perceiving, analyzing, and interpreting how artworks convey meaning. So all of those words are not about her creating pieces. It's about her looking at pieces, perceiving, analyzing, and interpreting. So this is what she should do. Through research, I will look at how Native Americans in Kansas use clay to create artwork and to convey meaning. Then that's great. That makes a lot of sense. That fits that competency. Okay, how did she do that? How did she prove she did that? Maybe she will show some of her research. She'll tell me the websites and she'll show pictures of the way Native Americans did clay. This might be one sheet of paper done. She can leave her proof behind. She met that one. Okay, Visual Arts 3, synthesize and relate knowledge and personal experience to artistic ideas and artistic work. This is, she will take the knowledge she's gained from my research and mentor to make, there's a bad word in there, or create my own pots using hand building and throwing techniques. So she will bring in the pots she created. That's great. That's her proof. Bring in the pots you made. Perfect. Okay, Visual Arts 1. Create and communicate by applying skills and language of a specific visual arts form to investigate, plan, and make artistic ideas and works. So she's going to show a list of the vocabulary terms that she's learned about the process of making clay and her pots. This is a great way of showing it. She's already showing by bringing the pots in that she planned and made artistic ideas and work. So that part's covered. The part she hasn't showed is applying the skills and the language. So if she comes in with a vocabulary list of different words that she's learned in this process, I feel like she will have met that very, very well. Okay, Visual Arts 3, synthesize and relate knowledge. Oh, never mind. Visual Arts 3, right here, not 13. Generate, conceptualize, and organize artistic ideas. So generate means I'm going to come up with ideas. Conceptualize means I'm thinking it through. I'm going through the process of coming up with idea generation and organizing. So she can't just show me the pot to say she did this. She's got to show me her process to get there. And that's a little difficult, but how I would do that, and this is what she wrote, I will sketch a plan of how I want my pots to look, the size, the colors I want them to be, and any designs I want to have on them. And then I will show those sketches, okay, before. So she needs to bring along basically a sketchbook or something that shows that she did that. She can generate and conceptualize. Okay, history number 5, research topics and concepts contained in history, government, and social studies. So I will research how Native Americans in Kansas use clay in their culture. So how can she prove that? She can show some of the research. She probably can use the same paper she used for the other one. It is fine to reuse proof as long as it makes sense and it actually proves the competency. Okay? ELA 4, interpret works and phrases as they are used in texts or documents, including determining technical, connotative, and figurative meanings, and analyze how special word choices shape meaning and tone. So she says, I will do research on reusing clay and read technical instructions and follow it to make my own. So somehow she has to prove where these technical instructions were. So she could show me some of her research. She could highlight a certain area that says this is this technical instruction, and then maybe she has pictures of herself making this pot or making this clay that she can tell me, here's where I used that technical stuff and I followed it and I understood what it was telling me. That would meet that competency. Earth Science 5, she talks the skills, communicate how the Earth's materials, features, and processes have changed over time, to describe and predict the effect of human activity and use of natural resources on weather regulation, earth systems, and climate. So she says, I will learn how reusing clay instead of getting new is better for the earth. I think that meets that, except it doesn't do any of how that has how it has met it in the past. So she probably needs to add a little bit. I will explain to you how the use of clay in the past has added or changed the earth systems or things like that. And then I will explain to you how getting new clay is better for the earth, or how getting reusing clay is better for the earth than getting new. So somehow she's got to show me some stats, some figures, how it helps the earth in some way. She has got to have that written out, proof of that, a website to show me where it shows that, and then she explains it to me. This one might take a little bit longer, but it's still, I'm thinking, a minute and a half, something like that. She should be able to explain that. Okay. Competency Steam 1, construct, manipulate, and use models and artifacts by using the appropriate tools to understand, refine, solve, and evaluate problems and or solutions. So this is one. I will take what I learned from my mentor to learn how to throw clay pots. I do not think that meets that competency at all. So right now, at this point, she needs to do one of two things. She needs to get together with me and say, what can I do to meet that competency? And I honestly have no idea through this project how she's going to meet that one. I feel like that is a bad competency for her. And I would suggest to her that she gets a new competency that she's actually going to be able to meet and puts it in there. So now is the time to do that and change your competency and get it right to make sure you're going to meet it, and not wait till 2 days before these boards are due. Okay? So you have got to be able to have the competency in there, explain how you met it, and then prove that you met that. And that prove, if you cannot leave something behind to prove it, then you're not proving it. You have to either leave a paper with some research on it, with a formula on it, with some documentations. You have to leave pictures. You have to show some video, a flyer if you made that, a computation or something you discovered in science that's written out that here's how I did that, a little clip of something. If you did some writing, you don't have to leave the entire thing you wrote, although you could, but you have to show a snippet of that. Show screenshots of your website, whatever it is you need to do, but you have to have proof. Many, many, many of you did not show proof on your midterm presentations like I asked you to do over and over and over again in these videos I've been making. So make sure you watch these. Make sure everything that comes out, make sure you understand what you need to do. This is how the competency boards are going to work. If you do not understand what you need to take in, please let your advisor or me know, and we will help you. The schedule will come out in a day or two, and you'll be able to see what room you'll be in and who your advisors will be on your board. Okay, good luck.